Yeah, you keep saying that, but I'm going to give you plenty of time to figure out what your boon is. Because you have time. Because I guess say is first.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not just having a reunion. Say you're trying to comfort the the mimic who's having a mental breakdown. I mean, he just lost his master, and that's who he's served for who knows how long. You don't even know his story, so he's having a mental breakdown for something that's served for so long. He doesn't know what it's like to not have to serve anybody, and I think he liked service.
But technically now the Sphinx, gave it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she insinuated that she...
Yeah, that's what she insinuated, but it's still down to, he's probably been with the Sphinx for most of its life, and now the Sphinx is gone, and so, big void, even though he's got a new master, it's just still a big void.
So yeah,
yeah, that's something that Say did not. I mean, this. Weren't you guys in Mazrik when you saw the giant? When you saw you felt the earthquake and the giant magical explosion off in the distance and all that stuff?
I don't think Milt was...
If I recall, that's what was happening.
Yeah, I think everyone was there.
Yeah, everyone was in Mazrik, and then they got hit with an earthquake. And then everybody was wondering what would happen. And Say just roughly explained it. It's like, yeah, big explosion, look that way. And then they just see a mushroom cloud of magical energy going up again. Yep, pillar number 3. It's like everything's coming to a head. Like, there's been a lot of destruction recently. Perhaps that's why the Legion is apprehensive, because things are getting destroyed quite frequently now.
One of them was their own goddamn fault.
Yeah, they caused it. They understand that. And then the second one was, that wasn't expected. And then the third one is also not expected, so it's like...
The second one was just, that was just souls being saved. That's
yeah,
really
still, it's still an unnatural phenomenon.
Yeah, wait, we only planned for one of those pillars, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Only one of those was to their design, and now the rest is not, so I think they're a little apprehensive. It's like, okay, what have we just ushered in?
And it makes a triangle around Glowspire as well.
It's like, doesn't it? And you say this stuff wasn't all planned.
Good times.
Yeah.
Okay, I think...
Yeah, if you look at it, it does make a... Actually, it doesn't make a triangle around Glowspire. There is, I just realized that it actually... You'll find that out soon enough, if you actually pay attention to that.
Yeah, I haven't looked in the map.
I don't know, are you looking at portents right now, or are you more concerned about the Mimic who's having a mental breakdown?
What I was going to do is I was going to pick him up, and, hold him like you would a baby, and then take him over to, Adria and all them.
Why Adria?
She wanted the baby. This can be practiced.
Okay. So you're holding this box. He's still teary-eyed. He's kind of he's whimpering noises. He's he was bad before, but now he's getting a little better, but still. So you just arrive at the table. Everybody looks up. They're expecting you just to be, just you and Rang and them, and then they see the box. So, and the immediate question is, what is that?
That's Chester.
It's and must I ask?
I don't want to say it out loud. I mentally say to each one of them, the Sphinx died just recently.
And so, Harflame's like, oh, so that's what that was.
You're in another dimension. How did you notice?
It's like, well, it wasn't me. It was more of there was some hard to explain rumor, message. I don't know. What do you call it when your people in this plane tell you things? Like, is it a message? Is it a rumor? Is it prophet? And so it's like she's a little flustered. Just like, I don't understand how half of this dimension works. It's artificial. It's created. So it's like, I don't know if this thing follows. I don't even know if this thing follows standard time.
I made it follow time, like, well enough.
It's like, oh, okay.
I mean, we can't have it going backwards in time and then coming out like the same moment in time and then destroying each other. That would be horrible.
And Claire is clearly drunk. It's like, oh, why are you always so boring?
What?
I mean, you always talk, like, when you start explaining things, it's just that everybody's turned off from the conversation. It's a killjoy. Just all of the fun gets sucked out of the funnel of knowledge that you call your head.
Funnel of knowledge.
So, like I said, she's clearly, you can clearly tell she's, like, drunk. And she's just making words.
Anyway,
It's like, hey, don't ignore me. I'm trying to have a serious conversation here.
I'm also trying to have a serious conversation that you were interrupting.
It's like, well, this concerns me too, doesn't it?
It might.
But
I don't know.
Harflame just like shoves Claire and she falls out of her chair.
No, don't.
And so, she falls out of her chair. It's like, anyway.
Yeah, I'm very busy at the moment. Would you be fine with looking after Chester?
So, let's see. Harflame's like, Harflame immediately says, like, she just looks at Audria, and she shakes her head no herself. And it's like, no, I'm not doing that. That's you guys. You guys can take care of it. Just.
It'll only be for a while.
So
I just can't really deal with someone having an emotional breakdown at the moment. There's so much to do.
So Claire immediately, like, she fell out of her chair, remember, and then she immediately gets up and she, like, crosses the table over the table onto this side. That's like, so what do you call him? What's his name? You called him what? Chester? What's his name?
While she's like walking over, Say's like reaching over to the barmaid with a mage hand and getting some of that anti-drunkenness stuff.
Well.
And then when Claire gets to her, she just like pours it into Claire's mouth.
So she will try and resist. So that is it's a dex save. So 20 versus what though? I mean,
can I use acrobatics?
Probably. So it's in your hand and you're trying to just get it around her guard. Nope, that's not going to happen. She's too drunk to really defend herself.
62.
So she tries to nudge you aside and you just get past her guard and just... And she just coughs a little bit. And she puts a hand to her head. It's like, what was I just doing 5 seconds ago?
Walking.
And she looks over. It's like, what the hell is that?
That would be Chester.
It's like, and she just goes back to the other side of the table, like around the table.
Anyway, any of you want to?
So nobody's moving. I mean, Audria is like sitting there. She's like stone still, like just looking at Chester, not sure what to do. Heartflame's like, she's clearly said she doesn't want to take care of it. Claire is apparently afraid of whatever it is.
Claire, seriously, you're fine with a 5-eyed bird? but you're
It's
not.
like, yeah, but those are natural things. Those are creatures. This is not natural. This is.
A five-eyed bird is natural?
It's like, at least it's an animal.
You don't know that.
Okay, so it's like, well, it looks like an animal.
So you're saying you discriminate based on what a person looks like?
It's like, would it be bad if I said yes?
A little.
So it's like, hey, at least I'm honest about it. Not a lot of people are.
Anyway, seriously, he.
Yeah, obviously, but hey, everybody's got their character flaws, so that's Claire's, I guess. She is objectist, so.
But again, I am physical. I don't have the time to look after him.
So again, nobody seems to be moving at the table. I mean, they're all just looking at Chester. Chester, who's like teary-eyed and he's sad, and it's like they don't know. I guess they don't know what to do. Just like I think you're all stumped on what to do with him.
So you want to have a baby, but you don't know what to do when someone's crying?
It's like, and she looks at you. It's like, yeah, I guess you're right about that. It's like maybe I didn't think that through very well.
Well,
so she just does what she thinks is right, which she just reaches forward and she just cradles Chester and like starts rocking him back and forth.
well, it was out. That's all I could think of as well.
Okay, so and it seems to calm him down. I mean, a lot, and then he just falls asleep. And Harflame's a little bit like she's just eyeing Audrey. It's like, wait. You're an angel. How did you wait? So, and Audrey is just, I don't know either. I just thought it seemed like the right thing to do at the time, and I guess it worked.
So just, without a word, walks up, kisses Audrey on the forehead, and then walks away.
Yeah, so, and she doesn't even notice. Like she's more concerned about it's like, how did I do that, and how did I know how to do that?
Okay.
Okay, so now that problem's officially out of your hands.
Okay,
Hold on, I gotta move some stuff because there's an invisible asset that is currently in the way. There we go. Oop.
So
you're sitting at a table by yourself.
This is an out of character thing.
Mm-hmm.
With the boon of what was it called? Combat something. Not combat prowess. Irresistible offense. Does that mean?
Where the hell is that? Did I put these in alphabetical order? There it is.
Yeah. Does that mean that if someone has immunity, my daggers turn it down to resistance, and that turns it down to nothing?
It's very specific on the knots giving you. It does not work on immunities.
But my daggers turn immunity into resistance. Would that turn said resistance into nothing?
Very good question, actually. Well, for the sake of that argument, yes.
Sweet. Okay, I found my next burn.
Okay, so that is actually very clever thinking. I would have never imagined that you had done it like that. But there's so much information I need to know. It's hard to try and keep track of. Okay, is there exploitation here? And apparently there is.
Say always finds the exploitation.
Yeah, because your daggers turn it into resistance, and with this boon you can bypass resistances. So basically, resistances don't matter at that point.
Yep. Okay. How the fuck do you get that though?
Didn't that only apply for like? I don't know what that applied for. Does it apply for everything, or does that just apply for melee attacks?
It would. I guess it would just apply for like melee attacks with my daggers.
Yeah, because I think your daggers only do that with melee attacks. I don't think your spells bypass resistance.
No, they don't.
Okay, so. Alright, so you're sitting here at the table. I guess your Chester just got handed off to Adria. So you're in the... Why are you in the training yard?
I have to figure out how to get this burn.
Okay, so Tobias does not seem to have moved from that spot that he's been in for a long time. You know, for a commander of the Legion, he's kind of, for the Mazrik Legion, he's not really been much of a commander recently. I think it's because there isn't a reason for him to actually engage in... Like, he's trained them enough as is, they know everything they need to know, they just need to practice it, and now it's just... hanging out, I guess. There really is no reason for him to really do anything.
You okay there?
So... what does he think? So Tobias is like, no, not really.
Why not?
It's like, too many reasons. I don't want to bore you with the details.
Really?
It's like, it's like, and he looks at you, it's like, I thought you weren't one to like to get bored with details.
You've obviously never met me.
And it's like, well, we don't talk a lot, so I guess I assumed.
Yeah. Details are like my thing.
And it's like, well, the short version is I'm in a bit of a conundrum right now.
Specifically?
It's like, just this current conflict. No. Is it wrong for me to say that I feel it is pointless?
I think that's pointless.
Okay, so at least someone agrees. I mean, in the end, if we don't really need to prepare for war, we just need a defensive force. I mean, Glowspire is pretty much isolated, it's just staying to itself from now on, or whatever the hell it's doing, I don't know. We haven't gotten a lot of intelligence out of there.
Of course, that would make us the next Underwood.
Say what? No, it would be the next Underwood? It's like,
Yeah,
potentially.
the next Underwood.
It's like, yes, I've read the report of Underwood. Strange happenstance from what I heard.
Fairly interesting, actually.
Yeah, so, it's like, you see now why we have apprehension for magic. Something like that can happen.
Well, I don't really make magic that sucks energy from the souls of people, so we should be fine from my standpoint.
It's like, it just makes me wonder if he was alone or if there were others who followed his work.
Well, to every great mage there is a great apprentice.
It's like, and so he's not very happy with that answer, because, you know, part of him knows, yeah, that's true, but another part of him says, you know, I wish it wasn't the case.
Probably dead, though.
Yeah. It's like, and how are you sure he's dead? I mean, what if he is alive? What if his work has been passed on?
I said probably, not surely.
Okay, so... it's like, probably might as well be that he's alive. Until I see a dead body, I don't believe anyone's dead.
So, entirety of Underwood not dead to you?
And it's like, you saw the soul tornado. Even I can't deny that.
Yeah, but you didn't see a body.
And he just scoffs a little bit. It's like, so literal. Do you know what figure of speech is?
Yeah, I do. I just...
It's like, so you just do it just to be annoying.
Pretty much, and to make points.
It's like, he picks up a drink from nearby. It's like, I see why people don't talk to you very often. And why you're the one engaged in conversations.
It works.
It's like, maybe for you, but, yeah. No, it's like, I take it you didn't come here just to debate things. It's like he didn't even know what to call it. It's like, things is all he could come up with.
I came here to train, pretty much.
To try and what?
Train.
It's like, so he puts down his drink and it's like, he says, pay me.
Pardon?
It's like, I've been doing a lot of training for free. And I would like at least some compensation now. I mean, you adventurers keep asking me for free to train you. So, this time, pay me.
Have you ever paid for drinks here?
It's like, yes. Where do you think half of your money comes from? It comes out of my pocket, which comes out of the Legion.
Okay, then. Free.
Okay. Say what? Out. And so, he looks at you, it's like, not what I had in mind.
It's a form of payment.
It's like, and he's like, he's looking at you, and it's, you adventurers always find a way to make this more complicated than it needs to be, don't you? I
only have like 1,000 gold.
And so he just gets up. It's like, fine. What did you want to know?
To get past.
Because rational, like he wanted to actually get paid gold, but now it's like you found a way around it, which is instead of him having to pay gold, now he doesn't have to pay gold. So technically, that puts gold in his pocket.
Yeah.
So it's a wacky way around it. It's like you'll learn that Tobias is not one for subterfuge. In fact, just talking with him, he's a very direct individual.
Well, in all technicality, I've paid him like more money than I would have if I had have just given him that amount in gold.
Yeah, but still, it's like it was a workaround. He was expecting the direct answer, which is, you just pay me gold and we'll get this done. Now it's like the indirect answer.
Well, he'll appreciate it in the future.
He appreciates it. It's just to him, it's odd. It's just this is not like this whole dancing around and not solving the problem directly. It's not him. That's kind of why he's frustrated. He's a traditionalist. He wants to directly solve the war problem with fighting. Of course, now he's got a lot of conundrums, which include that the people you're fighting were former allies, former Legion. Like the Legion you were part of and helped create, and now he has to take it apart. So that's one conundrum. The other conundrum is it's not a direct solution. To fight them directly would likely mean death to everybody he knows. So he's in a pickle, and he's a man who's coming to terms with this new age of just deception and scouting and all these other things. Not a lot of direct military action.
No, okay.
Okay, so he's still standing there, and he just asked you, what do you want to know? What is it what are you after?
Some way to get through or bypass someone's sort of resistances.
So he's looking at you. It's like, and what does that mean? I mean,
you know how some people don't take much damage if you punch them, but if you stab them, they take a bit more. I want to find a way to punch them and do the same damage.
He's still looking at you. It's like, I'm not quite following. It's like, do you want to learn how to punch harder? Or?
Well, more of make each attack I do more efficient.
So Tobias is like, that is not me in any sort of regard.
Do you know who it is?
It's like, not really. It's like I couldn't even begin to tell you how to fix that problem, because I'm very much a direct, if it doesn't break, apply more force type of person. I'm not the person to say, use the same punch, but make the enemy. It's just that's not me.
Damn.
So
And you don't have any ideas to...
it's like, well, if I had to guess, I mean, maybe some of the Dread Knights. I don't know. It's like, they don't like us calling them that, but you know, they're still the Dread Knights. We have no other title for them, and they don't have any other title.
The Drab Knights? But
He just looks at you with it's like, you know, ironic humor.
Yeah, ironic humor.
And so he just thought, like, well, I wish I could help you. I can't. I don't know how. I don't know what you're asking. / I don't know how to fix whatever it is you're trying to do. Sounded like screeching birds.
The velociraptors are coming.
Yeah, so where are you going? I mean, like, Tobias, he clearly can't help you. He's not that type of fighter. Caca.
Well, damn.
I don't think Tobias has ever been that type of fighter. He's never been one to, like, go indirect.
Well, it doesn't even have to be indirect. It just has to get the job done.
Yeah, but for him, it's like, that's what you're asking for is different from what he's used to, which is if you encounter force, just hit it harder. And you're asking us, like, how do I use the same fist to go around it?
Well, it's more of
At least that's what you've explained to him.
It's more of hitting with the correct amount of force on the first try.
So no, he wouldn't know. He doesn't like because he's not a. It's like he didn't succeed his first try. So he actually goes into old man mode and tells you a story. It's like, let me tell you a story of how it started. You know, when I first joined the Legion, like, okay, are you going to tune him out or are you just going to listen to the story?
I sit down.
Okay, so it's like, when I first joined the Legion, I was a failure. I probably shouldn't have even joined the Legion. It's like, I didn't have the upper body strength, I didn't have the leg work, I didn't have anything. In short, I was a civilian trying to play at being a soldier.
Isn't that how all soldiers start out?
It's like, no, some have talent, some don't. It's like, and I met plenty of those. Like, he's trying to find the word that's not offensive. Let's just say nobles.
Arrogant assholes?
It's like, I was trying to be diplomatic, but yes, you could call them that. It's like, they were the type of people who were born and bred to be part of the military. So they just flaunted that. So, it's like, I was almost dismissed several times. You know, I was called every horrible name you could think of, in terms of military.
Duck?
So, it's like, well, maybe not that, but it's like you want to know how I stayed.
Working hard?
It's like, no, actually not. It was actually quite the opposite. It was the sergeant took exception to me. I think, and it's like, and to be completely honest, I think the sergeant only allowed me to stay because he expected me to get, well, let's say, extremely wounded. He wanted me to walk away a cripple. He wanted the training to break me and to make me an example as to what not to be in the Legion. It almost succeeded. I mean, like, and it's like, you see he's starting to, like, he's taking off his shin armor, and what you see is there's a vicious scar across his shin. It's like, it was a pretty bad training exercise, it was. We were doing live combat. We had actual bladed weapons. I got one across the leg. I went down. Nobody came to pick me up. They simply left me there. They thought they would let me bleed out. It's like, well, I didn't want to bleed out there, so I just thought, well, the logical thing to do is to drag myself all the way to the medical tent. It's like, that medical tent was not close by. In fact, the medical tent was, it was on the other side of the camp on the compound. Compound that's at least a fourth of a mile across. That's a long way to drag yourself, bleeding out.
Sounds like it.
So, it's like, to be honest, I didn't make it. I made it maybe 3/4 of the way. I was within sight of the tent, and then I passed out. So it's like, I think it's like I woke up exactly where I passed out. The only difference was I had a bandage on my leg.
Who bandaged you?
It's like, I don't know. I asked around, nobody would respond.
So, some random person saved your life and you never found out who?
It's like, no. And I regret not pressing further. But you know what situation I was in. Nobody cared. Nobody wanted to see me succeed. Nobody wanted to see me try. So, and he's putting his shin armor back on. It's like, I received a lot of those. I got very intimate knowledge with where the medical tent was. It's like, in a way, them wanting to see me walk away a cripple actually made me into the soldier I am now. Strange.
Yeah. Overcoming adversities.
It's like, maybe that's what I... It's like, maybe that's what I... It's like, maybe that's why I'm so frustrated with the current predicament. There's no adversity right now. There's no problem really to overcome. I mean, if we could just ignore Glowspire... I mean, what challenge is this world now? I mean, look at our armor. Look at our cities. Look at all that. It's like, does this land pose a challenge anymore? Not really.
Well, both heaven and hell are on the brink of war.
It's like, but they're not here yet. And by the looks, and it's like, from the sound of it, from the scuttlebutt that's going around here, it might not happen. I mean, it seems like they're all talk and all threats, but it's like, I haven't seen any angels or demons descend on this place, and the demons you keep finding are isolated bands. So...
I've seen like 3.
Say what?
So far, in the last, month or 2? I've seen 3, at least.
It's like, exactly. It's been months, and barely any demonic incursions, and barely any heaven incursions.
That's a lot. 3 is a lot.
Okay. 3 is a lot of what?
Compared to the normal amount is like 0 in hundreds of years. 3 is a lot.
So it's a bias. It's like, oh, well, you know, I'm not very well versed in history and anything like that.
And that's not even counting like the smaller hordes.
And so, like, he's reassessing his situation with this new information you just gave him. It's like, well, if what you're saying is true, and there's a very real possibility that demons are coming, or angels are attacking,
probably both.
What do we do about that?
Prepare, as we have been doing.
It's like, but we're prepared enough already. I mean, I can't train my soldiers any further.
Yes, you can.
It's like, yeah, how?
Keep training them. Make them more and more precise.
And it's like, and he's looking at you, it's like, did you remember any of what I said earlier?
You can always get better. There is always someone
It's
better.
like, yeah, but I'm not about precision. That's not my strong suit.
Well, then teach them to be stronger, or bigger, or just better.
And he's looking at you, it's like, teach them to be bigger.
You can teach someone to be bigger.
It's like, do elaborate on that.
Well,
It's like, how do you teach someone to be bigger?
Other than the magical ways, there's simple muscle growth. There's
It's like, so it's like, isn't that just teaching them to be stronger, though?
well, the magic increases their. Well, the muscles increase their size as well, so that's technically bigger.
He just puts a palm to his face. It's like,
Or you could teach them how to seem bigger, to seem more foreboding.
It's like, it's like they're wearing armored suits that are designed to intimidate. I don't know how much more I could give them.
There's a difference between a suit and an atmosphere. There's a difference between...
So it's like, well, I'm not trying to create a soldier that scares everything around it.
Still, there's still a lot to learn and teach.
And it's like, and Tobias, he's sitting there and he's pondering slightly. Like, he's looking off, and it's like maybe it's time for me to retire. Maybe it's time for me to stop being a leader. Maybe not. I don't know. It's like part of me wants to help, another part of me doesn't care.
Why?
It's like maybe that's the alcohol talking. It's like, and he gets sort of a serious note. It's like, I mean, what's the point of making them stronger anyway? A lot of them are still going to die.
Less of them will die?
And that's like, true.
If you can save a single life, I think that's enough.
So, that's like, well, you're a lot more idealistic than I am.
Well, if you say so.
It's just, it's like, I don't like this immortality or this, this defying death. It doesn't seem natural. It doesn't seem right. I mean, it's like, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. I mean, some people just living beyond their years, coming back. I mean, and he's pointing it out. I mean, that incident with, just parents just coming back from the dead, from whatever.
Well, they died before their time.
It's like, still, it just seems strange that, death is so easily fought and won against.
Well, only when people are killed. When it's a natural death, it's very excessively hard to even try.
It's like, oh. And so, it's like, I'm just gonna stop sharing my opinions now, because apparently my opinions are uneducated.
The only way you learn is to find out that you were ignorant.
It's like, well, some of us don't want to really learn too much.
Well, that's a horrible mentality.
Oh, it's like, well, you have to remember, I'm not exactly the most optimistic soldier you'll ever meet.
Well, then learn optimism.
It's like, and he's looking at you, it's like, you make it sound so easy to do things, when it's not always that case.
Can be easy if you try hard enough.
It's like, yes, but I have to try hard other places.
Can't you try hard everywhere?
Yeah, so, it's like, no.
Why not?
It's like, maybe it's because I can't bend time or use magic.
You don't need magic.
And then it's like, So he counters that by saying, but a lot of what we have now is using magic. I mean, like he gestures to his armor suit. It's like, this suit runs off magic. This dimension is magic. I think many of the resources we have in Mazrik are now magical.
Everything has pretty much always been magic. It's just more prominent to see now.
It's like very true. And so he takes another drink of the drink he has. I was like, maybe I'm just an old soldier trying to come to terms with this new coming age and all these changes and this armor and you guys and everything.
Yeah, I guess that could be the case.
No, it's like he's looking into it. It's like, are we done here? Or are you like just?
What do you mean?
It's like, are we done here? Or did you get what you needed? Or
oh, not at all. But I thought I was helping you in some way.
yes, it's like I don't know what you're helping with. Just. Or if I can't help you with whatever you're asking for.
The world doesn't revolve around me. I can try and help someone else if I want.
Okay, it's like, then why ask me?
Ask you about what?
He just stopped. It's like, okay, this conversation is over, apparently.
Well, we've moved from one subject to the next, like, so many times. It's hard to keep track.
It's like, and I regret my decision of sharing my life with you now.
Why?
It's like, because you don't take many things seriously.
I was taking that seriously.
It's like, well, you have a strange way of showing how serious you are.
Well, sorry if my mother was a mute, so she couldn't raise me how to talk to people properly.
And he looks at you, it's like, wait. Your mother was a mute.
Yeah.
It's like, then how did you learn how to talk?
Picked it up.
It's like, I don't know what to say to that.
Well, when you're young, you find language a lot easier to pick up, and I was around other people than just my mother. But
It's like, I take it you didn't spend a lot of time at home then.
well, not when I was able to.
It's like, oh, okay. So you just have that moment of silence, just wait. Like, he's wondering, it's like, okay, I clearly can't help you. We've talked a little bit. Like, I guess his mind is going utility now. It's like, okay, why are you still here? Just...
Well, I came here to train, so...
Yeah, but... It's like, then why are you talking to me, then?
I can talk while stating things.
Okay, so... And Tobias, he just kind of just sits there. He stops talking after a while. Maybe he just ran out of things to talk about. Alright, so we're gonna swap from there. So Say's going into training. Niltor, where's Niltor last time?
I'm just outside the
Outside where?
inn.
Which inn?
Is open. What inn do you think?
There's a lot of inns.
The one we are in right now.
Halfway in? I don't see your body anywhere.
Right outside. Outside the gate. I left. I opened the door
Not
and
in,
left.
but out? Okay. Outside where? Outside which gate? I mean, are you at Mazrik?
I think.
Okay, that's what I meant. It's like, are you in Mazrik? Because you're not at the halfway in, if I recall.
I think he was saying that he was just about to go in.
Oh, he was about to go into halfway. No? Yes? Maybe?
I said I was outside the gate to the inn. I was
Okay.
saying-
I thought you went to your own mansion, didn't you? Isn't that what happened
Yeah, I
last
did.
time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
went to your own mansion because you just removed a curse off of Yuki, and she became her old self, and now you're somewhat drained because she took the initiative. So, but you could tell something is still wrong. I mean, she's back to her normal self, but you get the feeling that it's not quite like it's really just for show. Like something happened. Obviously, you know what happened because you were the one that purged whatever that was, but you know, she's trying to play it off. That whatever it was that happened, you know, it's no big deal. It's who's saying stuff. Oh, that's
I've got to ask you.
Okay, so
What did you
let's
do when
see.
I was gone?
You probably would have taken a rest right after everything that just happened. Because remember, it's like you went straight from her removing cursed back to your mansion to intercourse to being exhausted and falling asleep, and now it's past that part. Let's see, how is your feeling of, let's see, do you have to, obviously you're going to have to roll a challenge rating, depending on which, damn! There's no mercy. So you can pick which one, it's like, how are you going to wake yourself up? If you are going to wake up, or are you going to be in like a weird fug for a long time?
Yes, hopefully.
Yeah, when she shows affection, she does not mess around. So no, that is not a save. So like, you're more of in a like at the moment you're in a fog. Like you don't like you're having a hard time getting grasp of things like time and space. It's like, okay, where am I? What time is it? All that stuff is kind of eluding you. Do you think you hear voices? You're not quite sure if you're hearing voices. Roll perception. Let's see, this is a concrete challenge, which means that it'll stay at 30. Alright, so perception, you're pretty sure you're hearing voices, like someone's trying to talk to you, but you're not quite hearing. It's like, okay, what the hell is that?
Oh.
Like, it's more of you hearing noises.
Roll again?
No, you're good, so eventually you feel yourself being kind of moved. So you're being moved, and you basically, you know, you were held close to her chest, and that basically your face was smothered. Yeah, so it wasn't smothered like that, like you weren't choking, but it was in a point where it's like you can't hear anything. So, and she's asking again. It's like I said, you know, what do we do now?
One thing is I had to find out what the hell happened to you.
Okay, so it's like, can we not talk about that? I mean, can we at least give it maybe a couple days before we talk about that?
I'm going to ask the rest of the in Mathric because you.
It's like, and she kind of like, and remember, you're basically, I don't know if she was she taller than you or was she not?
I am
I don't
6 foot.
Okay, so you're taller
Yeah,
than
6
her,
foot,
so it's like you're a bit off center because remember your face is at chest level, and then the rest of your body. So in essence, you're like you're off center. So, and she's more like, well, you can ask all of Mazarick in, but I don't think any of them really knew what was going on, or else they would have tried to help me. I mean, how many mages do you know just hang out in the inn? And I wouldn't trust Senile, because Senile's senile.
I don't trust them. You have them do the right kind of spell for it.
And it's like, yeah, I don't. And it's like, you still didn't answer my question. Like, and she sees the silence, and it's like, are you just like knocked out or something, or it's like,
I asked her what question.
okay, so, and it's like, yeah, and she like rattles your head a bit. It's like, you need to pay attention. I said, what are we gonna do now? That's like the 4th time I asked.
I just I answered. I'm gonna see what happened to you.
It's like, yeah, and I don't want to talk about that. So what's that? What doesn't involve that?
You don't have to talk about it because I'm gonna find out from other people.
It's
You
like,
don't have to say a word.
it's like nobody else knew what was going on. It's like, if you want to know the whole, it's like, I didn't even leave that inn at the time. When you left me there, I apparently didn't move from where I was.
Why am I gonna ask people in the inn if they saw something?
Okay, so it's like, I could tell you what they saw. They just saw me sitting there, because even I saw me sitting there.
What do you mean you saw yourself sitting there?
Wait, what?
She said she saw herself sitting there.
Okay. And it's like, yeah, I was kind of having a, like, it's like, yeah, I was kind of having an out-of-body experience. You know, I saw what was happening, and I saw you the whole jaunt across the desert. Good strength, by the way. You actually carried me all that distance without losing yourself. Nice work.
Now it comes back to this.
Comes back to what?
You're taunting me about I'm not strong.
It's like, well, it's one of the points out of everything you try and fix. That is the one thing you have not tried to fix. You know, maybe you should lift, or maybe you should, I don't know, go do some strength training or something.
Later. So we head out.
So, and she like, she has her hands across your back and she's keeping you in place, and she just like tightens her grip and says no. That's like, because we don't, it's like, it's been a while since we've been in the same bed together, and it's been a while since I've actually had a comfortable place to, you know, lie down, or even lie down. So like, it's like, give me like an hour or two.
I'm gonna go eat.
Okay, so, and she's not letting you go, so you're gonna have to figure something out there. Like, you want to go eat, she doesn't want to go anywhere, for at least for the moment, because remember, like she said, she's probably been sitting in that position since you left her there. And how many days was that?
Almost a week.
Yeah, almost a week, stuck in the same position, in the same bar spot. The only thing that's keeping you watered and fed are the people around you, who don't know really what's going on. They just thought she was sad and depressed. They didn't know it was some sort of magical curse.
Servants.
Do what?
I'm gonna call out for my servants.
Okay, so, like, are you familiar with the blind servant? Wasn't there one like that? I think that was Say. Say, that was your inn, right? The one with servant with a blindfold.
Yeah, at one point.
Yeah. So, no, you don't have that. It's really just they have to do it the old-fashioned way, which is just closing their eyes and hoping they don't run into something. So he walks in, and he does a bow, and it's like, yes, Master Niltor.
I could really use some food right now.
It's like, we expected as much. And so, like, he does 2 claps, and then you see food's being brought in. And so, like, it's like maybe 4 guys, and they're bringing it right to bedside, because they don't expect that. Like, in your current position, they don't expect you to move. Or be able to move.
Allowed to move.
or being allowed to move at all. So they deposit all the food on the bed. And like Yuki's like she's stroking her hair. It's like, oh, that's so nice of you. Breakfast in bed.
Always a pleasure.
Okay, so it's like and she looks at you. It's like, I think that's 50-50, judging from the tone.
Hey, I have to eat as well.
Yeah, so it's like, well, obviously. It's like, and she's already going for food. You know, you brought it for yourself, and she's eating the food that you brought for you. There's enough food for both of you, thankfully. So she's like eating food and drinking. And it's like, she asks a simple question. It's like, why are we even adventuring anymore anyway? I mean, what is your goal? What's the point of all this?
Life.
So,
Because right now,
and
do
you know, this
that,
is the moment where like she's already let go and she's already eating food. It's like, all right, fine, you're free to go. Just
I'm not going to leave here inside alone.
say what?
I'm not going to leave her here inside alone because, well,
Okay, yeah, obviously, but at least now you can move. Like,
yeah,
no more range of movement.
we already had the food rotting. I mean,
So again, her question was, you know, why bother with all this? Why are we doing all this? You know, doesn't seem to be a real objective here for her or for you. I mean, like, you're just kind of along for the ride. Little sporadic things here and there. But I mean, what's the point of it all? What are they trying to do?
and to close fire.
Like, yeah, why? I mean, like, they don't seem to be doing anything outside of the city. Why do we even care anymore?
You hear you were here when they attacked the Azric.
It's like, yeah, and we have a military there now. We have a defensive garrison. So what's the problem? It's like,
Now we have that. Won't be.
it's a, yeah, and it's just, if we keep judging what we need to do now by what happened then we're going to be stuck in some weird limbo, because whatever's happening then is not happening now. If that makes any sense.
Well, leading up to the attack on close by, because right now we are collecting troops. They'll pull right when we step aside. And then I don't really know.
Say what?
Can we get enough troops to attack close by directly? I don't even know.
Yeah, but why?
If close by doesn't get stopped permanently, they're gonna attacking. Keep attacking, we're quite live. We would always be on the run.
It's like,
Also,
what that doesn't sound like it's.
Also the fact that I'm wanted by them.
It's like, yeah, that would make sense. It's like, but who's around to really enforce that? I mean, there doesn't seem to be anybody going after that bounty, or wanted, or anything. I mean, who's going to actually go after it? Most of the people outside the city, they've shunned, and I don't think anybody's stupid enough to try and get money from them after all the other things they've done. So why